Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's English lesson with me, Anna English, here on English Like a Native. It's quite unusual for me to be live on a Sunday, but I'm very happy to be here, and there's a special reason why I decided to broadcast tonight, and that's because look at this. We are so close to that huge milestone, which is 100,000 of you amazing people here, part of this community. So what I'm hoping to do is to hit that big milestone by the end of today. It might happen, it might not, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that it will. Now, you can help me. If you are watching and you're not subscribed, then you can make those numbers go up. And perhaps you can even share it with your friends so that your friends come along and hopefully want to join our community as well. Hello, if everyone is joining me here. Hello, please feel free to say hi in the chat room. What we're going to do today is learn the difference between the words may and might. So they're very similar and interchangeable in most circumstances, but there is a slight difference. So that's what we're going to be going through today. So hello to my patrons. Hi, Ella's joining me. Hi. Do feel free to put your messages, patrons, in the patron box, and I will also be doing some writing practice with you guys on YouTube. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Might versus may. So they are both used interchangeably. They're both used to mean to ask for permission. So if you're asking for permission to do something, for example, we might say, may I be excused for a moment? May I be excused for a moment? This is quite a common and very polite way of asking if you can just leave for a minute. Perhaps you are in a meeting and your phone rings and it's a very important call which you need to take, but of course it's rude to walk away from a meeting, or if you're in a discussion with somebody, then it is rude to just turn your attention away. So you might say, oh, may I be excused for a moment? And usually they say, yes, that's fine. And you go and take a call. Or if you need to use the bathroom, but you don't want to say that you're using the bathroom, you might just ask to be excused. May I be excused for a moment? So you're asking permission. Other examples that we have here are, may I use your bathroom? So perhaps you're at somebody's house and you need to spend a penny. So you might say to them, may I use your bathroom? And of course in most circumstances, they should allow you to go and use the bathroom. So we can also use might in this situation. If we need to ask permission, then we could use might. And the example sentence I've given here is, might I trouble you for a pen? Might I trouble you for a pen? This is very polite, and I don't hear it that often. To ask someone if you could trouble them. I hope it's not too much trouble. Can I trouble you? And using might in this situation, as much as it's correct, it's not common. So in that circumstance, you're asking to use someone's pen. Might I trouble you for a pen? However, like I said, it's not common for us to use might to ask for permission. It's not incorrect, it's just not common. So normally just think of may I being an asking for permission. So I want you to write a sentence for me now, asking for permission to do something. So using may I want you to give me a sentence. So what would you typically ask for? May I make myself a sandwich? May I trouble you for a cup of tea? May I wear my black lacy dress tonight? May I sit down? Give me a sentence and I will correct you. Elva, hello. You said good evening to you. In my country, we call only nice a sweet person. Sorry if that's annoying you. No, that's fine. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Hello, everyone. I've got so many of you in. That's wonderful. Hello in Morocco. Hello in Brazil. Hello in the Ukraine. Hello in Argentina. Fantastic. Okay, all right. So I've started to get some sample sentences through here. Oh, goodness. I can't pronounce your name. Mrokzni. You said, may I have a lick of your ice cream? No, you may not have a lick of my ice cream. I don't share ice cream. Ice cream is all for me. But that's a well-constructed sentence. Just make sure you start the sentence with a capital letter always. Amal has said, may I have my name called? Okay, so Amal, you are referring to the lesson where I gave people an English nickname if they wanted to have one. And so let's have a look at your sentence. You've said, may I have, that's good, may I have my, good, name called. So this isn't correct, the ending here. So you'd say, may I have my English nickname? May I have my English nickname? Oh, there we go. And then that would be correct. May I have my English nickname? And Amal, if you would like an English nickname, let me think. Amal, Amelia. Amelia is a lovely English name. So there you go. Amelia. Amelia. Andreas in my patrons room says, may I have a seat? Perfect. Ella, Anna, a bit off topic, but with all the struggles, the commitment to YouTube means which vision, which dream keeps you motivated? Oh, okay, so you're asking me how I keep motivated even though being a full-time YouTuber is very difficult. Most of the time, actually, it's the amazing messages and I get lots of messages on Facebook and on YouTube and on Instagram, and lots of people telling me what a difference these videos make and these lessons, how helpful they are. And that always, every time I think about getting a normal job or backing away and doing something else, those messages, you guys, are the ones who motivate me to carry on, because the majority of you are so respectful and so lovely and so positive that it makes me feel like I'm really making a difference to you. And so it's you. You are my motivation. Ta-da! Okay, so good. Let's carry on. So very easy. May should be used for asking permission, although might is not incorrect. So you can use might for permission as well. So when else would we use these words? Let's have a look. Both are used to express possibility, but there is a slight difference between the two. So both can be used to say that there is a possibility of something happening. So may expresses what is more probable and factual. So if something is likely to happen and it's highly likely to happen, or it's very possibly factual, then we should use may. So, for example, I might say to you, I normally drive to work, but tomorrow I may cycle to work tomorrow. I may cycle to work tomorrow. So it's highly likely to happen. It's very probable and it will very likely happen. So I'm using may. I may cycle to work tomorrow. Also, I've just got off the phone to my mother, and my mother has said, we're coming to London and we'll be with you probably around 6 o'clock, in which case we'd like to have dinner with you. So it's probably going to happen. So I will say to my boyfriend, perhaps, we may have dinner with my parents this weekend. It will probably happen, so we may have dinner with my parents this weekend. Now, we can use might in the same way, but might is more often used to express something that's less probable, or that's a hypothetical situation, something that's speculated. So the examples I've given here is, we should buy a lottery ticket. We might win. So winning the lottery is highly unlikely. Of course, it's possible, but it's highly unlikely. And so it's better to use the word might instead of may, because might is for possibilities that are less likely. We should buy a lottery ticket. We might win. And here I'm referring to someone who's turned up to a date and the date didn't turn up. So the person they were meant to have a date with didn't arrive. And they waited and waited and waited and they still didn't arrive. And so I say to them, if you had waited for 5 more minutes, your date might have turned up. It's unlikely, but they might have turned up. So in a hypothetical situation, if you had waited for 5 more minutes, your date might have turned up. So what I want you to do is to try now to use the words might or may to describe a situation where something is possible. You can either do it in the present tense or the past tense. Past tense, you're going to talk about a hypothetical situation. You're going to speculate and use might. For something that's very probable, that something is likely to happen, then I want you to use may. So Benjamin has used may in a permission sense and said, may I leave the class? No, you may not. You have to stay. Of course you may if you need to. But that was good. Daniel has said, you may hit 100,000 subscribers during this lesson. Daniel, that's a good, well-structured sentence, although I would say it's better to use might in this situation because I think it's highly unlikely that I will hit 100,000 subscribers during this lesson, given that actually I've got less subscribers now than when I started the lesson. People have left me already. Maybe people don't like the words might and may. So I would have used might in that situation. Okay. Camilla has put, I may visit England next year. Good. If it's quite probable, that's perfect. Alvaro, everyone's commenting, it's jumping down. Alvaro has said, I was wondering if you might say good evening to me. You're just an amazing teacher. Thank you very much. And yes, that's a good sentence. I was wondering if you might say good evening to me. And I did. So there you go. May you explain us theory of probability? Oh, I don't know about the theory of probability. And may you explain us? When you're using the word explain, usually it needs to be followed by to. Could you explain to me? Could you explain to him? Could you explain to them? So you need to add that word in. May I shake your hand? Yes. May I marry you? So all these permission sentences are good. You're using may. That's good. I might see you in Surbiton, says Jason. Okay, yeah, good. You might cross 100,000 subscribers. Good, well done. All right, let's just jump in the patron room. How are you getting on, patrons? Okay, no one's given me a sentence there, so let's carry on. So the third way you can use the word might and may is to note that might is the past tense of may. So you can also use might to mean the past tense of may. So here I've given some example sentences using both. So I may win the tennis competition. So that's present tense. It could happen. It's possible. I may win the tennis competition. However, let's talk about last year. I might have won last year if I had trained harder. I might have won last year if I had trained harder. So might being the past tense of may. I may ask Richard out. He might have asked me if I had been more approachable. I may ask Richard out. That means to ask somebody on a date because you like them. I may ask Richard out. He might have asked me if I had been more approachable. So there you go. There's 3 different ways in which we can use the words might and may. The first one being asking for permission. Usually it's best to just use may. May I? Yes, you may. May I? No, you may not. The second way is to express possibility. I may do something. But if it's less likely, you'd say, I might do something. Okay? And then finally, using might as the past tense of may. So I hope that you found that helpful. And if you want to practice doing any more writing, then I'll stay around for a few minutes to do that with you. And yes, my numbers have dropped. So I may I may hit 100,000 subscribers tonight, but it looks like it's just going back and forth, people subscribing and unsubscribing, which is making me very sad, but never mind. So any more practice sentences that you would like me to correct? Let's have a look at those now. Weather might be more making me happy. I'm not quite sure what you mean with that sentence, and it's not correct, so I don't know how to correct it, and I'm not sure of the meaning. Target English Spoken Club says, Ma'am, might you recommend a collocation book? Off the top of my head, I can't, I'm afraid, but that's a good written sentence. Well done. It might be raining tonight in Manchester, says Julian. Julian? I've not seen that name before. Yes, it might be. It most probably is. So I would say may. It may be raining tonight in Manchester because it's quite probable. And Victor has said, and that might be why I don't know about this. I can't see the beginning of your sentence, so I can't help you with that one. Anna, you have voice of FM radio announcer. An FM radio announcer is a noun, so then you'd have to use a. You have the voice of a or a FM radio announcer. Okay? I might be so jealous if my girlfriend out to another man. So you're missing a verb there. If my girlfriend goes out to see, or if my girlfriend goes out to meet another man, then you might be jealous. I would expect you would be. I would be jealous if I were you. May I have a cup of tea, says Khalid. Yes, you may. Well done. I may have come late to this session. Yes, you did come late to this session. Good sentence. I might be fluent in English in 100 years. Good. So we know it's not possible that you'll be alive in 100 years unless we have incredible advances in technology and people start to live a really long time. So you've used the word might because it's less probable. So well done. Good sentence. Well structured. May I visit you on May, says Rodrigo. You're using the month of May, so you're playing both words there. May I visit you on May. However, the preposition is wrong. When we're talking about months of the year, we use the preposition in. May I visit you in May? Okay, nice and easy. Fantastic. Let me just see if there's any new ones come through. Very useful, says Chris. Thank you very much. I'm glad you find it helpful. Ricardo says he may leave or might leave, question mark. It depends. It depends on the circumstance. If it's quite likely that someone's going to leave, then you'd say he may leave. He may leave. If it's less likely, then you say he might leave, I'm not sure. He might stay, but he might leave. So remember, might is less probable. Mary has said, may I close the window, please? Yes, you may. Very good. Please make a video about Christmas. I have done a few videos last year on Christmas, which you'll be able to find on my videos page. And hopefully you'll find that helpful. You might find that helpful. I'm sure you will, if you're interested in those kinds of things. I might be with you yesterday. No. So you're using past tense of may, but you also have to add, I might have been with you yesterday. And normally you would need a kind of a clause as to why. I might have been with you yesterday if my car hadn't have broken down. Or I might have been with you yesterday had I known you were doing a live lesson. Okay? Oh, we've hit 99,920. Oh no, we've gone back again. I think people are playing games with me here. All right, guys, can you help me? May I ask for your help? Can you click on that share button right now? Or can you message one of your friends who's interested in English and tell them about this channel and see if we can get those numbers up? May I ask that of you? Might you be so kind as to help me with these numbers? If not, don't worry, I'm glad that you're here anyway. So I'm going to do a few more and then I'm going to say goodnight because I'm going to go swimming for the evening. Go and do a few lengths to keep myself in shape, and then I'm going to have dinner and have an early night. So, may you lend me your hand, says Kareem. Very good. May I have a cupcake? Is that right? Yes, that is perfect, Amal. May you read my question, or is might impossible? Or it is might impossible. May you read my question is a good sentence, and there you go, I did. Might can be a noun as well. Yes, that's right. So to do something with all your might, to have might is like strength and energy. Because you can also then call someone mighty, to be strong and roar. That's a word too. Let me see. May you say something in Spanish? Sí. Is that enough? Oh no, I just lost more. I lost more. People are leaving me. Okay. He might come tonight. Yes, my friend might come tonight for dinner. That's good. Which is better? Might I go to the party or may I go to the party? It's better if you're asking permission for something, always use may. May I? May I do something? Okay. There's also if you're saying that something might not happen. So if you're saying I may not go to the cinema, and what you mean is there's a possibility I won't go. I'm not sure. I may not go to the cinema. Or you'd say, I might not go to the cinema. In those cases, it could be ambiguous. So people could think that perhaps you mean I haven't got permission to go to the cinema. If you use may, they might think you've not been allowed. I may not. I may not go to the cinema. My mother won't let me. I may not go. So in those cases, when you're talking about possibly not doing something, it's better to use might. I might not go to the cinema. I might not go swimming tonight. Okay? So if you're talking in that respect, then use might. We love you, Anna. Thank you so much. I love you guys too. And a couple more. May I have some advice from you? Very good, Elva. Very good. May I join you guys for dinner? Good, Mohammed. Yes, you may. Why not? May I come to have dinner with you? Yes, that's a good sentence as well. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's keep those fingers crossed that we build our community up to 100,000 subscribers some point soon, and that these lessons continue to help people all around the world. I wish you all a pleasant evening, and I hope to see you again tomorrow, where I may be live at some point, but I will let you know on Facebook and Instagram, so do make sure you're following me there. They're all free, so just find the links in the description box below. Okay, take care. Lots of love from London.